Hi, my name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. So today I want to talk about the movie P2. So this one is a request review from Patrick, and he says that he loved this movie and he wasn't sure why everyone else hated it. I have to agree with you, Patrick. I was actually pleasantly surprised. And thank you so much for your request because I really did enjoy this movie and I wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for you. So this movie is about a woman who is a workaholic and she is working late on Christmas Eve. She's meant to go to her sister's to celebrate Christmas and spend the night, but she gets caught up at work. And she takes the elevator down to her car when the office is completely deserted and her car is not working. And then you know what happens. The good guy swoops in to try and help the situation, and you know he has something to do with it. Wes Bentley from American Beauty actually plays the creep in this one, and you know if you've seen a horror movie before what's gonna happen, because as soon as she goes in and asks the security guard for his card pass to let her out, he doesn't know where it is. And that is like the telltale sign of all villains in movies. They just don't know what they're doing, and you know it's because they've killed someone off to replace them. I don't know if that's just me being paranoid, but I think that's a complete giveaway. The thing I surprisingly liked about this movie was it was really predictable, but I kind of liked it. You knew what was gonna happen here and there. You knew that this was gonna happen. There was a dog involved, so you know what's gonna happen. But it kind of twists as well. It doesn't happen exactly in the way you think it's gonna happen, which made it kind of interesting to watch because you were waiting for something to happen and you weren't sure if it was going to, and it wasn't. And it seemed like it was all set up in a certain way, but it kind of takes twists and turns. The last 30 minutes of this film is so gripping and so exciting, and I just really loved it. The sad thing about this movie is Wes Bentley was in the period of when he was in a really bad drug addiction when he was making this movie, and he was only taking on roles so he could feed that drug addiction. So that's kind of sad to know that he was completely off his face the whole time. There was one thing I didn't understand though. Wes Bentley's character was really sensitive and just really wanted to be loved and was very lonely, but also he seemed like a bit of a sociopath. He could tell little tricks she was using to try and manipulate him, which doesn't make sense because if you're a psychopath or if you're emotionally like disturbed, you don't really get all of that because you're not understanding that you're crossing boundaries. So how would you know when someone else is doing something? Because for me, I feel like that's more of a sociopath, but then sociopath, you really wouldn't care about those feelings of other people and yourself. So it didn't really all make sense because he was trying to help her, but at the same time, he knew when she was trying to use emotions against him, but he shouldn't have those emotions anyway if he was doing the things he was doing, if that makes sense. The best thing about this movie is she is the woman who does all the right things in a horror movie. And this is how women are portrayed and how they should be. You were never yelling at her to do something different. She was always one step ahead of you. She was always running away. She was always getting away. And she really gave him a chase. I loved it. It was great. I'm gonna give it a personal score of 6.5, a scare score of 5, and an originality score of 4. I hope you guys enjoy this. Please check out my 31 days of watching horror movies in October. All the details are down in the description box, and I'll talk to you guys later. Stay spooky. Bye. This list is so diverse that I'm going from like folk fantasy to found footage to experimental film. It's crazy. And I hope you guys enjoy this one. The first film I want to talk about today is